Now in my fourth year as an assistant language teacher or ALT under the JET program, I have worked with more than a dozen of Japanese teachers. And every year I get to experience co-teaching with different types of teachers, different personalities, different teaching techniques and strategies. In this video, I'm going to share 10 types of Japanese teachers of English that I have encountered personally, and also based on the stories of my friends who are also working as ALTs or assistant language teachers here in Japan. So if you have comments or if you have additional suggestions or if you can relate to the things that I'll be mentioning in this video, please feel free to write them down in the comment section below. So let's get started with the cheerleader. So this JTE is the supportive teacher. Like, they let you make your own lesson plans, they let you think of your activities in the classroom, and they give you time for you to give your activities or to give your presentation to the students. So usually in the elementary school, English classes are actually all subjects are for 45 minutes, and in junior high school that's for 50 minutes. So this cheerleader teacher or this cheerleader JTE gives you like 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes of the entire period to do a presentation or to introduce a game or to do a cultural activity with your students. They all also help you in planning or in preparing for your materials for the lesson. And you'll never get a no for an answer, or you'll never get disappointed whenever you give suggestions or when you ask for advice regarding a class activity or a lesson idea. So just tell them what you need and they'll try their best that you get it. The number 2 type of JTE is the laid-back. So I describe the laid-back JTEs as physically present in the classroom, but they don't actually contribute or make their essence felt. So the laid-back JTE thinks that the presence of an ALT in the classroom is their break time. So what do? They don't check on your lesson plans, they don't check on your lesson ideas or class activities. They'll just expect you to be in the classroom and do the lesson. The third type is the burned out. So this kind of JTE always looks tired or looks stressed. They always look sick. And their low energy is so contagious. And they have a lot of issues in life. So like being stressed or being tired, being sick is only in their mind. They just think that they're doing a lot when in fact they're false busy. And then the fourth type of JTE, I call this the Doraemon. Originally I was thinking the Scout, Boy Scout or Girl Scout, because always ready, ever ready. This JTE, you can put them on the spot. If there's a sudden change in schedule or if there's a sudden change in the lesson plan, they're fine with it. They can make the necessary corrections or adjustments in an instant. They're always up for a challenge. Anytime, anywhere. Next type is the giri. In Japanese, giri is like just on time or buzzer beater. So who is this kind of JTE? The giri JTE is the type of teacher that gives you the lesson, that asks you to prepare a lesson last minute. It can be the day before your class or a few hours before your class. What's worse is like 10 minutes or 5 minutes before your class. That's only when they tell you what you need to do or what you need to prepare for your team teaching or for your class. There's also the worst one. They don't tell you anything until you get into the classroom, and also the giri JTE puts you on the spot. So usually the giri teacher is also a teacher with a bunch of other assignments or other roles in the school. So they can be a club advisor or a trainer, and then of course a class advisor. The next type of JTE is the MMI. MMI. The me, myself, and I JTE. So who is this kind of JTE? This is one of the worst types of teacher that you don't want to work with. They always talk about themselves, kind of selfish, self-centered. They always feel that it's only them who are doing the job or doing big tasks. And then even worse is they love to take credits. They grab credits which other teachers or the ALT is supposed to get. And then they also love to put things to their advantage. They make schedules that's convenient for them. They make activities that's convenient for them. They don't care if the students actually learn something from it. What's important for them is they're able to finish their lesson plan, they finish their objective, which they themselves have thought of. The next type of JTE is the busy bee, as in super busy. They're really busy. They are fake busy. They are either really busy or fake busy. Yeah, that's the busy bee. Fake busy. They just pretend to be doing something. They love to pretend that they're working so hard, but actually they're not accomplishing anything. It's truth. It's a fact. The next type is the BSB. BSB. Backstreet Boys. Similar to the cheerleader JTE, but the only difference is they don't check on you. I mean, they don't check on your lesson plans or lesson ideas or activities. They'll just ask you, are you ready for your lesson? Are you ready for your activities? What can I do? Or what do you want me to do? They ask you what you want them to do, but actually, it's just saying, okay, I'll just watch. I'll just stay at the back. They let you they let you do your lesson. They let you become the teacher one or the main teacher. And then as you start discussing or as you start presenting your lesson activity or your activities, they go at the back of the classroom and then just watch there. And sometimes they talk to the students at the back. And then they'll just wait until you finish your activity or until you call them to do something. And then the next one is the American friend. American friend. Well, I'm sorry. This is not. I'm not against Americans, because Americans compose the highest percentage of ALTs under the JET program. So the American friend JTE is someone or is the teacher who always mentions their American friend in the class. So it's like their lesson reference is their American friend. And then sometimes when they talk to their students or when they talk to you outside of the classroom, their stories always include their American friend. And then the worst type of American friend JTE is the JTE or Japanese teacher of English who wants you to teach American English. So as we all know, JET program is not only for Americans. We have ALTs from the Philippines, from Canada, from Australia, UK, where else? South Africa, the Caribbean, some parts of Europe, and other parts of Asia, and other countries where English is their native language or their second official language, just like in the Philippines. So this American friend JTE wants American English only. So when you encounter this type of JTE, remind them that English is not only in America. English is not only for American people, and English is not only in American English. There are many varieties of English. There are many recognized varieties of English. Filipino English is one. British, Australian, New Zealand, Indian English, Singapore English, they're all correct English. They're all good Englishes. But before you do it, make sure that you are familiar with world Englishes yourself. You have to read. You have to, if you're not familiar with it, you have to equip yourself with what World Englishes is. What do you mean by World Englishes? And the last one, the last type of JTE is the partner in crime. Who is this partner in crime JTE? So first, they are good at team teaching. They're like the cheerleader or the supportive JTE. They talk to you about personal stuff. So generally, Japanese people don't talk much about their personal lives, especially to foreigners like us, like me. But there are some JTEs who are comfortable with sharing about their personal lives, about their families, about their previous jobs or previous careers. Or sometimes you also encounter JTE who trash talks other teachers or other people or even the system. So I consider these types of JTE as your Japanese bestie. Ayun. Japanese bestie or your Japanese best friend. You can do a lot of things inside and outside of the classroom or outside of the school. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but it's not usual for Japanese working people to have colleagues whom they can hang out with outside of school. So more on the professional level of relationship. I'm not saying that they're not good at relationships, but again, it's more of professional level of relationships. But there are some Japanese people who can go beyond that. So they can keep their relationships with their colleagues outside of their workplace or outside of the classroom. So they sometimes they go out on picnics, they eat out. I have friends who invite or who are invited by their JTEs in their homes or in their respective homes. So that's their in that case, this kind of JTE or colleague becomes a Japanese bestie, the partner in crime. So those are the 10 types of JTEs or Japanese teachers of English that ALTs like me encounter while teaching or co-teaching English in a Japanese classroom. I hope you learned something from here. Again, if you have comments, if you have reactions, or if you want to share your own experiences working with the Japanese people, please feel free to write down your comments in the comment section below, and expect that I'll be replying, I'll be responding on your comments as soon as I read them. So that's all for this video. I'll see you again next time.